Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Tori. I've been a practicing witch for over 10 years, and I am the creator of the Digital Coven. The Digital Coven is a Discord group, basically a big, fun, witchy group chat of like-minded individuals where we just discuss what we are doing with our craft and our daily lives. If you're interested in joining, I have the link in the description. If you have not checked out my Tarot 101 video, make sure you check that out. In this video today, we are discussing the Major Arcana in Tarot. There are 22 cards in the Major Arcana, and they are the more recognizable cards in Tarot, such as the Fool and the Death card, or the Dreaded Tower. The Major Arcana represents larger themes and turning points in your life, where the Minor Arcana is more day-to-day insight. You can think of the Major Arcana as a story, a journey of transformation that starts with the Fool's first steps and ends with the world's sense of completion. We are going to go over each individual card, but don't forget, when it comes to my tarot practice, I focus more on initial gut reaction and intuition than the actual card meanings. Memorization has always been very difficult for me, and I think that when you start tapping into your intuition, tarot is a lot more rewarding of a practice. We will discuss the actual meanings and keywords to help you understand the Major Arcana, but I still think it's best. We will discuss how to focus on what the cards look like and how it feels and applies to your life specifically. If you're interested in starting your own tarot practice, I highly recommend going to a witchy shop if you have a metaphysical shop in your area, supporting them and purchasing a deck that really speaks to you. Today, we are going to be using my Tarot of the Divine deck. It is my favorite deck. It is gorgeous. The cards are high quality. I found them at a metaphysical shop down the street from me, and yeah. You can also find my mini guide to tarot on Amazon. Not necessary, but I've got keywords and references to the numerology and all the cards. And I even have places for you to write, and there's like spreads. It's very cool. I put a lot of love into this, so you can find that in the description as well. And with that, let's get started. The first card in the Major Arcana is the Fool, and it represents beginnings, starting off. Just based on the name, it's a lot of spontaneity, innocence, a leap of faith, potential. The way that I like to think of the Fool card is that she is optimistically waiting at the edge of the cliff and expecting the universe to catch her. It is just trust and the start of something. Hasn't been burned by the world yet. In this specific deck, it is based off of the story The Little Mermaid, and if you remember the story, a young mermaid falls in love with a human and is willing to throw her whole life away for it, for true love. And as an adult, I see this story differently, but that's a very good example of the Fool card. So the reversal of the Fool card could be considered reckless behavior, being ungrounded and directionless. When the Fool card appears in your reading, that is a good indication to ask yourself, where are you taking risks, or where should you be taking risks? If it is reversed, maybe you are taking risks that you're not thinking properly about. The next card in the Major Arcana is the Magician. Keywords that go with the Magician are manifestation, willpower, resourcefulness, creation, or magic. The Magician knows exactly what they are doing, and they have the tools to do it. So if you look at this card, it is based off of Cinderella. And think about in Cinderella where the fairy godmother uses her powers to transform Cinderella in all of these things into, the princess and the carriage. It can represent confidence, tapping into full potential. The shadow side would be manipulation or illusion. things are not what they appear to be. When the magician appears, kind of think, what tools do you have to create something? I don't know if you all noticed, but I left for a little bit. My husband called me about a work issue. So we work together. I clean is my day job. Witchy content create no. Witchy person after hours throughout the day. I clean new construction homes with my husband. So, what's your day job? Let's chat about that. Okay. Next is the High Priestess card. She is very much divine feminine, intuition, inner knowing. When this card turns up, I like to think about what my intuition is trying to tell me. The shadow side or reversal of this card would be the disconnect from your intuition or repressing intuition. Okay, the next card is the Empress. And the keywords that represent the Empress are fertility, abundance, creativity, motherhood, nurturing. She is unapologetically feminine, signifies self-love and creation, grounded, nurturing. You can just like see in this specific card, there's like all the plant life, very motherly. Whenever I pull this card, I like to ask myself, what is in my life right now that I could be nurturing to create or grow? The shadow side of this card could represent over giving, or I guess a good example would be burnout from being a caretaker to others. You're mothering, basically. Next, we will discuss the Emperor. The Emperor is a very masculine energy card, signifies structure, authority, leadership, discipline, stability, the divine masculine. The vibe of the Emperor is that he rules his world with strength and confidence, order and strategy. His energy is very controlled and very clear boundaries, strong foundations, healthy leadership. The shadow side of this card could be emotional coldness, fear of vulnerability, unwilling to give up your control. Think about when you pull this card, places in your life where you could have stronger boundaries or leadership. Just a quick disclaimer in here, I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning. My tarot practice is very intuition based, and there are so many different tarot decks and guides that have different meanings that the author intends for them. These are just my own. You can do your own research, or I even recommend you sitting with your own deck and looking at each individual card and deciding what it means to you. Because at the end of the day, it's how you read and how you perceive it that is the most important. So if you disagree with any of my interpretations of the cards, you can comment below your interpretation, and just know that I read them for me and my interpretation is intuitive. Next card, the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents tradition and spiritual wisdom. Think guidance, structure, beliefs. I consider the Hierophant the spiritual teacher in my life. Where the High Priestess would be inner knowing, the Hierophant is structured knowing. So passed down teachings, rules, truth, belief systems. When you pull this card, it could be that you are being offered spiritual guidance, and then the shadow side of that would be rigid ideals, unwilling to open your mind, resistance to change. When you pull this card, think about what teachings you follow in your life, what traditions influence you, and whether or not they are still serving you. Next is a card I'm sure you guys are familiar with. It is the Lovers. And the Lovers is about union and partnership. Maybe not romantic love, it could be, depending on your type of reading or situation. But it's more connection and alignment than anything. It could be alignment between two people, two situations. It could be alignment between desires, who you are, and who you are becoming. The energy of this card is authentic connection. The shadow side of this could be disharmony, not being aligned properly. So I always like to see the Lover's card as connection, maybe if I'm reading between two situations. And we are on to the Chariot. The Chariot very much represents direction and momentum. It can also symbolize control. It's about movement, things happening, and actions being taken. Any shadow or reversal of this card could be struggling to control your direction, maybe being unsure of where you're going in life. When you pull this card, think where in your life you may need to take the reins. Where are you going, and how do you get there confidently? We are on to Strength. And this card is exactly what you'd think it would be. It is strength. It could be inner strength and restraint. It could be courage. It could be emotional control, external strength. Tarot tends to be more inner, so think about emotional resilience in a situation, how you're handling a situation in your life. The shadow side or reversal of this card could be a lack of confidence. It could be fear of vulnerability or being afraid to take control of a situation that you're in. When you pull the Strength card, think about, based on your reading, how you can meet this specific scenario confidently and know that you're in control. We are on to the Hermit. I like this card. This is pretty and pretty self-explanatory. The Hermit is solitary, but not in the way where one might think like lonely. It could, if you look at your deck and you feel that, then that could definitely apply, but more of retreating into yourself for reflection. He is a listener. He is calm and quiet and reflecting on everything internally. The vibe of this is self-awareness, personal wisdom. But then the shadow side of it could be that isolation, that loneliness, hiding from your emotions. If you pull this card in reverse, you are hiding from the situation that you are asking about. Next is the Wheel of Fortune. And just as it says, the Wheel of Fortune is a wheel. It turns and represents movement. It has ups and downs, but what goes around comes around. This could also represent flow, trusting the timing of the universe. Karmic reward, what goes around comes around, could definitely be applied to karma. If you pull the reversal, the shadow side of this card could be fear of the unknown, not trusting the flow of the universe. When you pull the Wheel of Fortune, think about what changes are happening in your life and where they could be leading for you. Next is the Justice card, and it is just as it says, it is justice. It's truth, fairness, consequences, and balance. This card is about choices and karma. When you pull this card, a truth is to be revealed. The shadow side of the Justice card could be avoidance of consequences or dishonesty with yourself or from others in your life. Think about places in your life that might need accountability. This is one of my favorite cards to pull, and it is the Hanged Man. First of all, this deck is gorgeous. Again, I know I'm saying that a lot, but the Hanged Man represents a different perspective. The person is literally upside down, so you're seeing things from a new point of view. Think of a pause, surrender, and observing from a different perspective. And they're not stuck. They're doing it intentionally. So you need to take the steps and the actions to see from another point of view, whether from another person's point of view or from the other side of a situation. The shadow side of this would be refusing to look at new perspectives, closed-mindedness. When the Hanged Man appears, think about where in your life a new perspective might help you. There's a ton of these cards, guys. Now a popular one, the Death card, which is terrifying some days, but actually is not as scary as you would think. Death is a normal part of life, and it does not always mean physical death. It could mean the end of something. Think transformation, cycle ending, release. Think rebirth. The Death card isn't always what's already dying, but could be parts of your life that you need to cut away, not to punish you, but to free you. An invitation to grow and shed things that no longer serve you. The shadow side of this card could be clinging and being unwilling to change. An attachment to what's comfortable and being unwilling to move on with your life. When the Death card appears, think about what you could be ready to release. Very good for new moon intentions. I think everybody's kind of holding on to something that they don't need in their lives anymore that drags them down a little bit. And I think it's good to sit and reflect on that occasionally. So, what seems like a scary card is actually a very freeing card to pull sometimes. Next is Temperance. And Temperance is again about balance and equilibrium. Think spiritual maturity, emotional balance. The shadow side of this could be imbalance, burnout. When you pull Temperance, think, where are you being called in your life to have more balance and more patience? Okay. Our next card is the Devil. Gorgeous. The Devil is about temptation, desire. It could very much represent your shadow side, your passions. The reversal of this could be addiction, being stuck in harmful cycles. Again, temptation and desire and passions are not a bad thing, but this card is a reminder to check on attachments you may have in your life and to reflect on how they're affecting you. Another card that tends to bring fear to witches everywhere is the Tower. This card is wild, guys. I love this art. The Tower is sudden change and upheaval. It is chaos and destruction in the way of tearing everything down that is not working in your life so that you can build it back up. This seems terrifying, and in some ways it can be because change is scary. But when the Tower rips everything away, what is left behind is the perfect environment for regrowth and rebirth. Think about the fact that for a tower to fall, it needs to be built on shaky foundations. And if you've built something on a poor foundation, isn't it safer to tear it all down and start over? To build up stronger and better than before. So I consider the Tower card to be very liberating and powerful. Again, if you get the reversal or the shadow side, I would consider that more panic, resistance. Unfortunately, if it plans to come down, it is coming down whether you want it or not. And this is a good indication that you are fighting it every step of the way. When you pull the Tower card, think about things that are happening in your life that may be crumbling and plan to build up better. Love that card. Next, we are at the Star. The Star is hope, faith, divine connection. If you look at this specific card, she's wishing on a star. So, hope for greater things. This card shows up when you are ready to heal, to start again. Think recovery. The reversal could be disconnect from your purpose or hopelessness. When you pull this card, think about where you are in your life and what brings you hope. Think of like the new things that could be coming to you right now. I think a lot of times when life is stressful, people don't notice the good things, and this is a good reminder to keep an eye out for that. We are on to the Moon. The moon is intuition, dreams, emotional depth. She is a reminder to feel deeper, to look inside yourself. Very much spiritual insight. The shadow side could be confusion, deception. When you pull the moon, think about in your life what your intuition has been telling you lately that you might not be paying attention to. Now is the sun, which is confidence, joy, clarity, vitality. This is a card of radiance, of pleasure, success without apology. Think about happiness, things associated with the sun. The shadow side can represent ego, burnout, toxic positivity, When you pull this card, think about the good things happening in your life. Maybe good things are to come. We are on to judgment. Judgment is an awakening, a wake-up call. It is a moment to be radically honest with yourself and what you're doing in your life. Think transformation, forgiveness. The shadow side of judgment could be guilt or judging others or things that you're doing. Think about judgment when you pull this card, about what parts of your life that you are ready to give up, but with forgiveness, not in it from a place of shame. That ends us at the world. And that is the close of our Major Arcana. The world is the completion, the integration. Think fulfillment, wholeness. This is the end of the journey where the fool started wide-eyed and excited and has ended standing at the center of the universe. It's not about perfection. It's about being where you feel whole. Divine timing, harmony. The shadow side of this card could be incompletion, feeling stuck in a cycle, similar to the Wheel of Fortune. When you pull this card, think about what cycle are you completing in your life? How can you celebrate your growth? Because you made it, babe. So the Major Arcana are your big picture cards. If you do a spread, the Major Arcana in your spread, if there is one, would be most likely the overall theme of your reading. And the cool thing about these is you are able to just separate your Major Arcanas from the rest of your deck and do a spread with only those. If you're wanting to do a reading with more about your purpose. So we are going to do a Major Arcana spread. It is a 3-card spread, and you are going to take your Major Arcana cards and you are going to shuffle. I do chaos shuffling, which means I shuffle until something throws itself at me. That one fell out, so that's on there. I'll show you guys in a second. And I'm going to do 3. Okay. Sometimes I get this weird, tingle, like a little, and I'll pull that card. Okay, now I need one more. If you guys do this, comment your cards below. I would love to hear it. Oh, that one. Okay, so this spread is card number 1. It is as you are now. Card number 2 is an obstacle that you face. And card number 3 is an action to take. And don't forget, I only did this with Major Arcana cards. So our first card is the Tower reversed. And what did we say about the Tower? The Tower rips away what is no longer serving you, what is not working, something built on shaky foundations. And when the Tower is reversed, that shows panic, resistance to change, chaos. So in my specific situation, as I am now is refusing to change. And if that's not the universe calling me out, I don't know what is. And I will choose to be privately offended by that. Next is an obstacle that I face. And for that, I have pulled the sun. And the sun represents happiness, celebration, success, childlike wonder. And if it's an obstacle that I'm facing, that could be me refusing to do those things. Maybe I am not focusing on the joys in life. Um, if I were to just intuitively think on that, I could say very much victim mindset. If I am unwilling to change things and I'm not focusing on the good in life, maybe I need to take a break. This could signify burnout, and I will say that that sounds accurate. That, we've all been there. I'm definitely exhausted. So the third card represents your action to take, and for that we have pulled the Magician. So this is the card that is going to take me from panicked and resistant, missing out on the happiness and joy and success that my life could have. And it's going to solve all that, supposedly. And what we said about the Magician is it represents willpower, resourcefulness, magic, and creation. The Magician knows what they've got and knows how to use it. They're not waiting for permission, they're already casting. Think confidence, tapping into full potential. So basically, where I am stuck in avoiding and unwilling to change, I'm missing out on the joys in my life. And the way that I fix that is with things that I already have. I know how to do it already, basically. Is that helpful? It's annoying. Like, you want like a, hey, do these things, but it's like, no, you know what to do. And again, if that's not the universe calling me out, then I don't know what is. So tell me your guys' three cards and how rude the universe was to you today, if you feel so inclined. Okay, that was a lot of fun. I feel offended by my tarot deck, but if you don't feel a little offended by your tarot deck, I don't think you're doing tarot correctly. If you were to do a major arcana reading and you felt confused, that would be where I would shuffle in the rest of my other cards, my minor arcana, and would pull clarity cards. And clarity cards are basically just cards that help you build upon the message to better understand. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, do all the things, and comment your thoughts. Next, I'm thinking of doing the minor arcana if you're interested. And we're going to end this with a tarot pull just for you guys, a collective tarot pull for the Coven. Don't forget to join the Coven. Discord link in the description. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. It's not always very active. We're all very busy in different parts of the country and the world. But, chaos shuffling, there's your card. But we have a lot of fun. And I would love to see more people involved. Completely free. Chaos shuffling doesn't count if you drop half your deck. Please hold. Okay, for you guys, I have pulled the King of Wands, and the King, very much divine masculine, the ruler of his world. And wands are actions. So for this specific card, the vibe that I get would be ambition. I don't know if you are feeling ambitious or if you should be more ambitious. Comment below if this resonates with you. I'm going to pull a clarity card. What are we ambitious about? What are we needing ambition for? Chaos shuffling. Oh, another king. Oh, this is the King of Coins. It's pentacles. This one just is coins in this deck. But another like ruler, pentacles would be worldly possessions. You could think abundance and finances. Absolutely, especially with a coin. I'm feeling very luxury, very much financial control. Whatever you guys are working towards right now, I feel like it's gonna pay off. I feel like it's gonna go somewhere really good. I'm excited for you. Anybody wins the lottery, I feel like it should be an unwritten rule that you split it with all of us. I'm excited. Let's try one more clarity card. Let's see if there's more to it, because that is interesting. This is shuffled pretty well, so it's interesting to pull 2 king cards. Very much in control of the situation. Whoop! Oh, okay, so I've pulled as my last clarity card the Ace of Swords. Aces are new beginnings. Swords are thoughts. Maybe a new idea. Oh, how cool! One of you guys out there is starting a new business venture and you are ambitious and excited and ready to go, and it's going to make you lots of money. Fingers crossed. Again, tarot, I'm not psychic. Tarot is a tool to tap into subconscious. I do get intuitive vibes towards people, and so I feel like my tarot readings are pretty good. They resonate with people. I do offer them in my Etsy shop. I might be on vacation. I'll link it below. Tarot readings for other people is exhausting because people are not nice all the time. So sometimes you need breaks. Protect your energy. And this was a lot of fun, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you don't have a tarot deck, go buy one. That whole thing about not being able to buy yourself a tarot deck, bullshit. Go buy a tarot deck. Tarot of the Divine is really pretty, but honestly, just go to your local witchy shop. I love supporting a small business. I have a really cool one near me, and just browse, pick them up, see how they feel in your hands. Sometimes you just get like a nice tingly feeling, a little warm vibe, and that's your deck. And have fun. Yeah, and stay wild, stay grounded, and stay witchy, everybody. Bye.